This is a demonstration of Area Object Link, or AOL. When AOL is properly installed under AutoCAD's add-ins ribbon, you would see a new Area Object Link panel where the AOL and AOL set commands appear. The first time you run the AOL command, you will see this GUI, which basically consists of 4 new commands that AOL adds, and then the following options as to how the area value will show up, particularly in a particular format with a suffix or not, rounding with a certain precision, and so on. The 4 new commands that I will demonstrate, let's start off with link. When you execute this command, you have the option again to adjust the format of how the area value looks like based on the way you've drawn it, your drawing, where there's 1 unit or 1 inch, 1 unit 1 foot for imperial, or if the drawing is in metric, you have the following metric drawing units. And then the area then could be calculated based on any of these following conversion factors. In this case, this drawing is done in imperial, 1 unit or 1 inch, and I will calculate my area value in square feet rather than any of the other choices, or a custom factor, but I'm going to choose square feet, and I will include a suffix with the following selections, or a custom one, but I will choose SQF as my suffix. And I could also choose to have a precision on the area format, or round the area. I'm going to choose just the default of 0 for both, and then click OK. And again, this demonstrates the Area Object Link command. Here I'm prompted to select an attribute or mtext or text to link an object's area value. So I'm going to choose under break room number 1. This here, the text that's there, and then after a text has been selected, it's going to request for an area object, like a polyline, hatch, ellipse. In this case, I have a polyline already drawn around the room, and I'm going to go ahead and click that. And I'm also prompted to select additional objects if I want it, or if I'm done, press return. And here the object area of the polyline here is 392 square feet, and automatically the information is placed here, and you can see and double check by checking the quick properties of that polyline, and it shows me it's 391.659, which rounds out to be 392 square feet without any decimals. So I'll repeat the same command, and the second time I run AOL, it will just use the previous settings that I had. In this case, I have set it to link, so it will again repeat the link command, and I will choose this time in this object, this text, and then again which object. In this case, I have this polyline that's drawn around this room, which I will select, and I have no other selections. I'll press return, and again it fills out that square feet automatically. And just to check, I could select the polyline, quick properties, and again it tells me that the square feet is 166.28, which again, if there's no decimal, it will show up as 166 square feet. So now I will demonstrate the next command, and to bring up the AOL window again, I will have to press AOL set and choose a different command. In this case, I'm going to choose insert, which is the second new command of AOL, and here I'm allowed to then insert an object similar to this that has a built-in name value for the attribute and then a built-in area value calculation. So because it's an insert command, I then again have additional options where I could select the scale value of the insert block, and I'm just going to stay with 3/16, and I could change the rotation angle. In this case, I'm going to leave it at 0. again, I could choose particular suffix, and this time I'm going to change it to square feet, and no rounding, and again no precision, and click OK. Ask for insert point, and I'm going to say here in the middle of the room, and then it's going to ask me to select objects. So now I'm going to select two objects, the first one being in this room polyline that creates that room, the second one being this polyline that creates that room, and now it'll give me a total of these two rooms when I'm done. And again, I'm going to go ahead and label that as break room number 1 and number 2. And here I have a total of 558 square feet, which is a total of these two square footages. And to confirm that, I could basically take a look at what's actually inside this field, which AutoCAD basically includes as a formula, and the AOL app fills this all out completely without any basically user entry other than to select the polylines, which again makes it a lot simpler without having to deal with any kind of any of this, because it's already been filled out. The conversion factor, if there was any decimal precisions, and in this case a suffix of sq.ft period. So that's all filled out automatically by the AOL program with the new insert command. Now I'll demonstrate the AOL, again bring up the GUI show command, the third command that this app adds to AutoCAD, and this basically allows me to show which objects are actually linked to that field, and it highlights it in green, which tells me that this object polyline is linked to that text field. And to complete the command, I press enter. And again, I can repeat the command without having to bring up the GUI by just selecting AOL, and again it'll ask me to select an object, in this case a text object that has a field which is linked to a polyline, in this case the polyline that has an area value, and again select that, and notice that again this area highlights with that polyline. That tells me that the text area value is linked to this. Press enter. And now the last one is of course this, to see the fact that there are two objects linked to that one field, text field. Again, selecting AOL, select that text field, and here it shows again two objects linked to that one field. Okay, hit again enter to finish the command. And now we'll demonstrate the final the fourth command for the AOL update. And here I could update a field, text and blocks, or the AOL block itself, which is these blocks. And when I mean update, I mean that I could change the square feet. Let's say I don't want to calculate in square feet now, I want to calculate in square inches. And let's say I want to rotate it now 90 degrees. And I do actually round it now. And notice that I automatically changed the suffix to one of these options, and I want to choose sq.in, square inch. And because it's a field, that one update, it then allows me to select a field like this one at a time, and let's say I'm done, and it updated just that object, leaving these alone. And notice the square inches. And let's repeat it again. I'm going to change it again, pressing AOL. It runs exactly the way it was set up previously, and then this time I'm going to select this object and this object, and here both of them got rotated 90 degrees, and notice that they overlap. And let's say that I don't want this, it looks terrible. Go back to AOL set to bring up the GUI, and in this case I'm going to select text and blocks, and instead of 90 degrees I'm going to go back to 0, and I'm thinking, well, this square inch is a little too long. I'm going to change it to SI, and this time no precision, and let's round it to the nearest 10 up. Click OK, and now I'm then able to select all these in the crossing, and notice I only selected the attributes, blocks, and text. It did not select any of the other objects. And when I'm done with the selection, press enter, and it only updated these information, anything that had the field, not the label of just the text. So the fields all updated with the area. And again, to examine what's actually in there, double click on the attribute, double click on the value, and it will show the field. And here's the formula all calculated and filled in, so that and notice that it's rounded up. So 56,399 is rounded up to 56,400. 23,945 is rounded up to 23,940, because it's not 6, it will go down to 940 instead of 950. So this is all done automatically without any intervention, which helps reduce time spent figuring out how to use the field command, creating all various different area value conversions. And let's go back now to one last time, and I'm going to change it all back to square feet. And notice again, automatically the suffix changes to a square feet like, and I could choose custom too, and enter something like that, custom. And let's get rid of the rounding. Let's go back to show this now a precision value. And then that's a little too small. Let's increase the factor from 64 to 190. Well, that might be a little too big, so let's go to 196, and then click OK. And again, because I could select, and it only selects those objects and not any of the lines, but only the objects with fields. I only pick those up and then press enter to complete the process. And notice that it updated everything, including adding a new suffix, custom, and including all the decimal value to show up. And that completes the AOL Area Object Link demonstration.